Roz Gold-Onwude, happy WNBA Monday.
Hey.
Listen, yesterday was an eventful day of games, 4 games on. Been a lot of games since All-Star break, but
That's another discussion.
That's another discussion. Yeah, a lot of games, and so we had 4 yesterday, and there were some really big performances. Like just starting with the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. You know, look, that was supposed to be a big matchup. And a lot of the names that I'm sure the league was hoping to be involved in it were not there. Caitlin Clark has been out, and there's no timetable for her return as she's trying to nurse a groin injury. Angel Reese, something's going on with her back. She's not in. So, like, the 2 biggest stars are not even playing in this game, right? The Chicago Sky are sort of, like, struggling right now. They don't win many games without Angel Reese. So, and then also, Ariel Atkins is out. And then on the Fever side, they look like they're starting to find their way in terms of winning games without Caitlin Clark. They lean in defensively. But listen, yesterday, Kelsey Mitchell had herself a game, okay? And she, look, I mean, Aaliyah Boston was great. She had a double-double. Like, there were many great players. Like, they definitely did it, like, as a team effort. But Kelsey Mitchell was so good yesterday. And, like, when the Sky started to make a little run to get in the game, she basically, just went to another level and helped secure the win for her team.
She's been fantastic this season, and especially with all of the turmoil that the Indiana Fever franchise has gone through all season long, she keeps stepping up. For me, it was the efficiency of the 35-point explosion. 7 for 10 from 3, 12 for 19 from the field, 7 threes. She is a full-on, full-court threat from 3, in transition, at pace, at the rim, pulling up. And this is something that doesn't always happen for every player. She can really create her own shot off the dribble and get you a bucket. And then not to mention that she also had a number of assists, got her teammates involved. So I'm very impressed with the Fever, actually.
Okay.
I think this was a season where there was literally fighting on the court. Their coach has missed time for personal reasons. They've had a number of injuries to the roster. They had a marquee free agent signing, first of all, not play games and then leave. That is disruptive. As much as we love De'Ronna Bonner, that's a big deal for a franchise. That's a huge, that could set a franchise back for at least a season.
Right.
And then you have your superstar player, Caitlin Clark, has been out, and when she's been in, has mostly been playing through injury. And yet here they are, still contending, still being a playoff contender, still being a team that, is very dangerous. I think anyone on the other side of them sleeping on them because there's an injury to Caitlin Clark would be very foolish. And I spoke with Sophie Cunningham when they were coming to New York and playing, and she said, we kind of have 2 mindsets. We've got, like, our mindset when we have Caitlin, and then our mindset without Caitlin. And they're ready to play either way. And sometimes it allows other players to shine in a different light.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've been really impressed with the Indiana Fever, and I actually think they're still a spicy team. I might have come out the gate saying this is a contender, but I still think, like, especially if Caitlin comes back, this season, we'll see how they play it with her injuries.
Right.
But, they could be very spicy on a playoff run.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I've really been most impressed with the defense because I think that's, like, one of the biggest things, that they've needed to improve. I knew that they had other ways to score between Kelsey and Aaliyah Boston. Actually, Natasha Howard's been great. And then, like, Ari McDonald's been great, like, as an addition. So they have ways to put the ball in the basket. But their defense in the past has been the thing for me. Is like, if they can just get better defensively, I've been really impressed with what they've been able to, like, shore up their defense. So
yeah, I'd love to piggyback that because for me, like, spearheading the defensive energy, I love what they're getting from the motor that they get from Sophie Cunningham. I think she's, after getting back from that, I think it was ankle injury, she's really figured out, like, ways she can impact the game for this team. And then mostly it just comes from here. She's got heart. Lexi Hull is always willing to go hard. And sometimes the stat line won't tell that story, but she's out there going to give you all she has. Ari McDonald speeds things up and puts pressure out there. This is a guard group that can really set a defensive tone.
Yes.
And I think we'd be remiss to do this whole segment and not discuss Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah.
Who, like,
for sure,
on both ends is making such impact. Her stat line from last night, 14 points, 11 rebounds. But for me, it's the 6 assists. For me, it's the 2 blocks. It's the 2 steals. She's everywhere making impact. And they said they were going to run the offense through her. And I think especially when they don't have Caitlin, her ability to facilitate is even more important.
Agreed. You know, I expect the Fever to make the playoffs. Like, I expect them to be on the playoff mix. I think a lot of good fortune has to go right for them to make like a really deep push, like getting Caitlin back early enough. And
you expect to see her back?
I think so. I mean, it's a groin. Groins are tricky.
Yeah.
I think there's enough time for her to come back this year, but it's just a matter of when, and then her feeling comfortable, and but you have to protect the asset, and like you have to think about this long term, and that's what they're doing. So I definitely don't think she should be rushed. And obviously, just like All-Star Weekend, she would be very missed if she's not with them, and I think that would limit their ceiling for like a real deep like playoff push. But I think they will still make the playoffs, and I think, like I said, some good fortune, things go right their way. Potentially, it could maybe even be like a deeper sort of run where, some people had them as a contender at the beginning of the season. So we'll see what happens.
Some people, a lot of people did.
Right. I think it depends. Because like, I didn't think, I had them as a contender, but it was still like a tier below, like the Lynx and the Liberty. Yeah. So it's like, I still have always had them like under that group. So we'll see. Yeah.